What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Rolling the Bottom Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Moore. Hope you're doing well whenever you are listening to this one. We're back. We're going to be going on a podcast marathon this week, leading into Daytona. But because of some weather, we get the clash on Wednesday, man. Everything's good. Hopefully, anyone that was affected by the massive snowstorms, unfortunately, I was in Pennsylvania, where I work. We have to go in and shovel snow and plow snow. So I was in there for a bunch of hours. I think I was running on like 24 hours of no sleep. It was miserable, but you get some good overtime money for yourself to help pay for future NASCAR races this season, baby. So it ain't too bad for me, dog. But I hope everyone, in all seriousness, everything went well. You guys were able to stay safe, stay warm. Hopefully no one, lost power and like that. Because I know it was more severe in certain areas. It was super cold. There were areas, other places like Nashville, it was freezing, so you would lose power, you'd lose water, all this kind of stuff. So hopefully it all went well for anyone that's listening to this one. We're going to because I got like a bunch of off-season news I just been keeping track of that now we're going to talk about in the last week of the season. And I won't even talk about all the off-season news I want to talk about in this one sitting. But should be fun, guys. I'm excited to get into it. Got some cool announcement. Not really an announcement, but it's an announcement for a way you guys could support me, but get some content or get some stuff in return from me. So, here we go, baby. The Clash was moved. It was postponed from Sunday to Monday, and now it'll be Wednesday night. Clash will start at 6 o'clock on Fox, 200 laps. The last chance qualifier will be 4:30 on Fox, and then practice and qualifier will be put together at 1:30 on the Fox Sports app and the Fox One app. The way it looked like is the field will be split into 3 groups. The top 7 from each group will make the 21-car field. And then the last chance qualifier, the remaining cars that did not make the full field, they will race for the final 2 spots at 4:30 on Fox. Really stinks to have a snowstorm really affect the race because they had to cancel stuff Saturday to hopefully push it Sunday. That didn't work out. They're going to do it Monday, but then they realized that the cleanup was just going to be too much. They could have ran it Monday because the track looked great, but the purpose of the Clash, running it at Bowman Gray, is because of the fans. They make that event so special. That's what makes Bowman Gray just so iconic. So doing it without fans just doesn't feel right, especially because it's a Clash kickoff event. Build some momentum heading into the Daytona 500. So I'm excited. Hopefully everything works out. We'll have a podcast after that event to talk about that race. Now, moving on. Let me just, hang on. Wrong way. Jordan Bianchi reported last week that the Charlotte NASCAR playoff race to shift off the Roval and return to the Oval beginning this season. This is Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic. He is reporting this. It has not been announced by Charlotte Motor Speedway, but Jordan stated in his article that the announcement will be coming by Charlotte Motor Speedway in the coming weeks. This is big. This is awesome, I think, for fans that don't like the Roval. And I will say I am also a big fan of this. The racing on the mile house with the Gen 7 car, especially Charlotte, that Coke 600 race. The track is getting worn out. The cars are just, everything about that Charlotte Memorial Coca-Cola 600 race is awesome. It's incredible racing there. And I think with the way the Roval is going, I thought the Roval this past year's race, SVG was the best car, but I do feel like the tire wear did make it different. You had some play-on drama, of course. But I just don't think the energy has been there for the Roval. I think ticket sales haven't maybe been where they need to be, and maybe where they could be with the Oval. So bring the Oval back. The Roval's been around since 2018. The reason we went to the Roval's been around since 2018. The reason we went to the Roval was because the oval racing in the Gen 6 car was not good. And I was there for the inaugural Roval race in 2018 where we saw that incredible, spectacular finish with Jimmie Johnson and Mark and Truex. They wrecked each other in the final French chicane. Ryan Blaney squeezes by and wins the race. It was awesome. A lot of drama in that race. A lot of the key moments you can think about from the Roval were all because of the playoffs. The Jimmie Johnson, Martin Truex, they're racing for playoff points. Johnson was racing to make it in. A lot of stuff that happened was just because of the playoffs. The Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott stuff was drama because of the playoffs. And then this year we saw Ross Chastain. He wrecked Denny to hopefully get in. All of that was because of the playoffs. None of that was because of the racing was never that good. And I don't think the racing was that good with the Gen 7 car, because the Gen 7 car has been designed for road course racing almost. That's some of the things that they put on the car was some of the things they put on the Gen 7 car were things that you see in road course racing cars like IMSA cars: bigger brakes, bigger tires, sequential shifter, diffuser. What made the Roval so good in the Gen 6 cars, because Gen 6 cars have smaller brakes, smaller tires, big horsepower. They're just not designed for road course racing. This car is more designed for it, so the racing is just a little more cleaner. Drivers aren't making as big of mistakes. So I'm excited. I think now with the new chase format as well, the chase format, it's no longer the playoff format. I think bring back, the only time, when the chase was around, we were running on the oval. So bring it back, bring some of that nostalgia back, if that's a proper word you want to use. I'm excited that the oval's back. I think NASCAR drivers are excited about it, because a lot of those drivers, they're not road course racers. They grew up doing ovals. So I think a lot of those guys that are really good in the Charlotte Oval are going to be happy about it. Now I saw there was this discussion, now that the Roval's gone, and there's not going to be a road course in the chase. Should there be a road course in the chase? I don't think there needs to be. NASCAR is an oval-based series, but if they were to put one in, I would not be mad about it. If you're going to put a road course in, I think you put in an actual road course. But that's just me. Lawrence Glenn was in the playoffs last year. I guess not 2025, 2024. And I thought that was fine. So if NASCAR wants to put a road course in, I'll be fine with it. But I don't think we need to have a road course in. Of course, your road course fans think you need to have that in. And I know maybe SVG would be upset that the chase doesn't have a road course, especially if Shane makes it in there, and having a road course could have him have an opportunity to get a lot of big points. But I'm super excited for this decision. I'm hyped. I love this decision, and hopefully, we'll hear about in the official announcement in the coming days. But Jordan Bianchi is one of the best in the game when it comes to reporting news before the actual source breaks it. Or the actual, I guess sources, usually when it comes to sources, the person that's telling Jordan the news isn't usually the actual source. The actual, like Charlotte Motor Speedway is probably not telling Jordan this. But people close to Charlotte Motor Speedway are telling Jordan Bianchi the news. And Jordan's really good at what he does. So I'm excited about that news. Next thing I want to bring up, it was already announced a long time ago, but Daniel Suarez is going to be in the number 7 car. Freeway Insurance is going to be anchor sponsorship. He's replacing Justin Haley. I felt like this whole move, it's not fair that Justin Haley, after 1 year, lost his ride, because it wasn't fair. Justin Haley started off with Ronnie Childress, and then he was after Bristol. There was a mutual parting ways with Ronnie Childress and Spire. I think they just realized that the pairing just wasn't working out the way it needed to be when it came to Justin Haley and Ronnie Childress. So now here comes Ryan Sparks, who was a competition director, former crew chief of the 7 car for Corey LaJoie. He came over and became the crew chief for Justin Haley. Also, Justin Haley's pit crew is a backup pit crew for Hendrick Motorsports. So they got their pit crew pulled a couple times. I think they got their entire pit crew pulled for the 5 car, and now the old 5 car's pit crew came over to 7. So And guys were getting pulled all the time because of, if a main Hendrick Motorsports pit crew, if they had a loose wheel that came off, they would get penalized for 2 races. So those guys were out, so they had to go and pull from their backup pit crews that were running for a Spire team, because Spire and Hendrick Motorsports have an alliance. Spire uses Hendrick Motorsports pit crews. It just wasn't a fair situation for Justin Haley. But he got pulled anyway. Luckily, Justin Haley will be racing in the Ram Trucks programs in the Cars and Truck Series, and that'll be, I think, a really good opportunity for Justin Haley to hopefully continue to build his career and keep his career going upward, because I think Dodge will end up going Cup racing. I think Justin Haley could be a great first driver part of that operation. But Daniel Suarez, their stats also, Justin Haley's stats versus Suarez stats are neck and neck. Suarez has a little bit better stats. He has 7 top 10s versus Haley's 2 top 10s. He's led 15 more laps. He has 1 more top 5 than Justin Haley. He finished 29th in the standings versus 31st in Justin Haley. He has a little bit better average finish. Justin Haley has Suarez has a 20.8 average finish, and Haley has a 22.3 average finish. So just the stats don't make it seem like Haley should have lost his ride and Suarez should have took it. But Suarez has got the funding, and we all know funding is a big part in this sport. I'm happy, for Suarez. I hope this is an opportunity. The only thing I'm just worried is I believe it's going to be a 1-year deal for Suarez. So it's going to be another year that he has to go and prove himself that he can race in this series. Because if he doesn't, there's going to be a lot of interesting, Kyle Busch is on a contract year. I think Spire likes Kyle Busch. They would love to bring Kyle Busch over to the Spire team. But if Suarez goes out here and has an incredible year and maybe wins a race, and Kyle has a middle, okay year at RCR, maybe Spire stays with Suarez, because also Suarez got that funding. Now Kyle Busch also has that funding. He's got backing. It'll be interesting. Silly season will be very, very interesting. But overall, I'm going to be really, really curious how Suarez does, because that was to me, I felt like that was more of Haley didn't have the funding and Suarez did. Because I don't think when it came to the stats, they were not close enough they were not a big enough difference when it came to 2 drivers to one warrant getting the job versus the other one losing its job. But like I said, I don't think Justin Haley also had a fair first year with Spire. Next thing, Nick Sanchez announced in the offseason that he was informed not to be returning to the 48 car for Big Machine Racing in the O'Reilly Series after giving that team their first career win and making the playoffs. He was out, and people were wondering why. There was a lot of speculation that had to do with sponsorship. He didn't bring anything to him, but the guy that replaced him, Patrick Staropoli, hopefully I'm pronouncing his last name right, is replacing him, going to be going full-time. Side 4 will be the sponsor. Patrick Staropoli is an eye surgeon. If you were to look him up, it wouldn't say he's a race car driver. It would say he's a surgeon. I believe he's an eye surgeon. He went to school for it. The sponsor has to do with eye care. I know, and he ran a couple races for Sin Racing last year in the O'Reilly Series. He also did some ARCA racing. He returned from racing. He's like 38 years old. He's not some young guy. There was some races he ran ARCA in 2014. Had a couple top 10s in ARCA in 2014 for the ARCA Series, the ARCA West Series, and the ARCA East Series. But when it comes to the Xfinity Series, he doesn't have anything. No top 10s, no top 5s. So he just has nothing. There's nothing there for him, but he got this very competitive ride. And I think it had to do with sponsorship. Nick Sanchez he had a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but no money to his name. no sponsor to bring to Scott Borchetta, the owner of Big Machine Racing. Now, there was some speculation. I heard this rumor. I don't think it's true, or it could be true. Nick Sanchez racing the truck series for Spire Motorsports. Jeff Dickerson is the CEO, or the president of Spire Motorsports, I should say. Big Machine Racing had an alliance with RCR Racing. During this lawsuit, there were some text messages discovered of Jeff Dickerson saying some not so nice things about Richard Childress Racing. So I'm wondering if Richard Childress said, because Jeff Dickerson, his driver that he helped, move up the ranks, is driving a car that RCR is giving an alliance to. Richard Childress might have went to Scott Borchetta and say, hey, if you're going to have this guy driving your car, we're going to back away our support. This is just I'm just seeing this could be a rumor. There's no facts to this. And I don't want to spew, rumors or anything out there. But who knows, guys? We all know, Richard Childress was not happy about the stuff that came out about him. Especially the stuff about Steve Phelps. As we all know, Steve Phelps doesn't have a job in NASCAR because of that. And I still saw an article recently that Richard Childress is still not happy about the way people were talking about him. So who knows, guys? This is a very shocking thing, guys. Because I think this was more about sponsorship and less about who had the more talent. Who has the most talent. And who has the most potential to go lead your team to have success. But like I said, I've said it many, many times. It seems like if you have money, you can go far enough. You can go somewhere in this sport. Now, you may not really get to the Cup Series with just money. Because before you know it, they're going to find out you got no talent, no ability. Nick Sanchez has yet to announce his future plans, but I know he says he's excited for the future, so hopefully he finds somewhere to go race and somewhere hopefully competitive to go compete. But I feel really, really bad for him. But like he said, it's just strictly business. Next thing I'm going to bring up, Rajah Caruth will be going part-time in the No. 88 for Junior Motorsports in the O'Reilly Series. This is a big deal. A lot of people were happy for Rajah. HendrickCars.com will be a sponsor for all those races. Now, Rajah won't be able to go full-time, and I believe some of the reasoning behind it could be because of sponsorship. I'm not exactly sure why. But Rajah, there's 32 races in a full season. He's running 22 with Junior Motorsports. He'll run all the chase races. But the other 10 will be ran by Jordan Anderson Racing in No. 32. And those races, not exactly sure where they are on the schedule, but Rajah Caruth did run some races for them, I believe, last year, so he got himself a little bit comfortable with that team, so that's good. I'm excited for Rajah. This is going to be a great opportunity. He'll be working with Marty Lindley, who worked with Connor Zilich, so he's a very experienced crew chief. I mean, the crew chief lineup for Junior Motorsports. I mean, Ronnie Childress is coming back, going to be crew chief for Junior Motorsports. That's big. I already talked about in this podcast how the situation with Spire didn't work out the way that he liked. The way that the Cup cars are built, it's a lot more like Lego pieces when, in the Xfinity Series, a lot of those parts and pieces are manufactured in shop. So Ryan Childress can kind of put his own little touch on these cars that are being built. It's something that he was really, really, really good at with the Gen 6 car in the Cup Series. That's why he went and won a championship with Kevin Harvick. Andrew Overstreet will be the new crew chief for Justin Allgaier. After, who was it? Who left him? Jim Pullman. After Jim Pullman left the 7 to go and pursue and go crew chief, Kyle Busch in the Cup Series. And then Corey Shea will crew chief Sammy Smith in the Xfinity Series. And then we got Philip Bell will be the crew chief for who's driving the 9 car. That'll be their all-star car with a bunch of different drivers in there. So yeah, I'm excited to see Rajah Caruth in that car. He's bounced around. I mean, he started off in iRacing, dude. He started off in freaking iRacing, and then got better and better, and then he was able then to propel himself, I think, from the Drive for Diversity program with Rev Racing. He got an opportunity there to go race, and won, and just continued to get better and better and better. He won his past 2 seasons with Spire Motorsports in the Truck Series. He won 2 races, one at Las Vegas in 2024, and then one here recently at Nashville last season. He held off Corey Heim. He held off Lane Riggs, 2 of the best there in the series. I mean, Corey Heim won the championship. I think Rajah, he made the playoffs, and then he finished. He made it to the round of 8. This past year, I forget where he made it the year before. But he ran. He was running part-time there. I think it was last year for Alpha Prime Racing. He had some rough races at times where he got caught up in wrecks and couldn't learn. But I think, man, for him, this is an opportunity now to really, really show what you're made of. But also the pressure will now be on for Rajah. I think he'll notice that, hey, I'm into really good stuff now. Now I got to go out here and perform. I got to go make it happen. So I'm excited to see what Rajah can do in that 88 and 32. He'll have a full season, so he'll compete for the full season points. So I'm excited to see what Rajah can do in the 88 and 32 this year. Last thing I want to talk about in this podcast, it was already announced last season that Corey Day will go full-time in the number 17 HendrickCars.com car for Hendrick Motorsports in the 2026 season. Corey Day, I've said it many times, he's been hyped up. A lot of the people at Hendrick, they signed him to a diversity deal. I think last year, heading into the 2025 season, he ran a bunch of different races. I think he ran some ARCA races, some truck races, some Xfinity Series races. In his part-time schedule in Xfinity, in that 17 car, he had 11 out of 11 starts. He had 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Passenger Truck Series, he ran a couple races for Spire Motorsports. He had, out of those 13 starts, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, and 1 pole. And then the ARCA Menard Series, he had 6 starts, but no top 10s, no top 5s either. But there's a lot of hype. I think there's a lot of learning he's still doing. He's very young. He's 20 years old. But I think the thing is though, when Hendrick Motorsports is hyping you up, and Kyle Larson's saying that Corey Day was better than him at his age, when Kyle Larson was 20 years old, Kyle Larson said that Corey Day is better than Kyle was at 20 years old. Now I know you talked about that Corey Day's a really, really good sprint car guy. That's kind of where he's known from. So he has a really great experienced dirt background, but not asphalt. But I don't like when people start talking about this guy and saying this guy's this, this guy's that, and then he goes out there and doesn't, perform. Because then you're overhyping the guy, or you're putting too much pressure on a guy, and I don't think it's good to put pressure on a guy that is still trying to learn. But Corey Day is going to have a great opportunity. And that 17 car for Xfinity is fast. I mean, Larson has dominated races in that car. Chase Elliott's ran well. Alex Bowman's ran well. William Byron's ran well in that car. So Corey Day is going to have a really good opportunity to go compete for a championship. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really cool to see him out there as a rookie competing with some other full-time rookies as well. So I think it's going to be a great move, but I think the pressure will be on now, right? All right, you got your feet wet. You understand the series. Now it's full-time schedule. Now go make it happen. Go prove the world why there's so much hype on you, man. So excited see what he does. I'm excited for the Xfinity series. There's going to be a lot of good stories in that series this year, so I'm excited for it. Oh, shoot, I just called it the Xfinity series. It's the O'Reilly series. My bad. Overall, guys, thank you guys for watching this episode. I'm going to be filming another podcast after this. But I did start a Patreon. You don't know what Patreon? It's a way that I can sell content, and you guys can pay for it. I'll be posting some early access stuff early all season long. You can get my top 5 paint schemes for all 3 series earlier before anyone else sees them all. Also, if you do the $5 membership, $5 every month, you'll get your name shown at the end of every Rolling Bottom podcast. There's also a $10 membership where you pretty much get early access to paint schemes. You get your name at the end of every Rolling Bottom, but it'll be highlighted in yellow, and it'll also be higher up, closer to the top. And then also, I'm starting something new every Tuesday. This Tuesday is canceled because there is no NASCAR Clash. It'll be Wednesday. But every Tuesday, after every race, I'll have a exclusive Zoom call link where you can join and we can talk. It'll be a round table discussion. If you guys want to give your thoughts on the race weekend, you can. I'll call on you. You talk. You give your thoughts. We'll go down the line. I'll give my thoughts. We'll talk about what we thought the best paint schemes were for the weekend. Any silly season rumors. And we'll also preview the next race. We'll let everyone go around and give their picks for all the racing. It's an idea I have. And we'll see, depending on how many people want to do that, if it becomes something big and something legit. But overall, guys, thank you guys for the support. Looking forward to the season, so stay tuned, though, to a bunch of my content. If you want the short form version of some of the content that I talked about in this video, stay tuned to Instagram. Go follow that at Rolling the Bottom on Instagram. I also have at Rolling the Bottom on TikTok as well. Overall, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Goodbye.